Tensions remain high in Democratic Republic of Congo as riot police patrol the streets and officials finalize results from last week's presidential election. Opposition supporters say they'll protest if the current leader, Laurent Kabila, is declared the winner. More than a dozen were killed and 100 seriously wounded in election violence, according to Human Rights Watch. U.S. officials are watching this election closely. So are corporations with interest in extracting cobalt, copper, diamonds, and other minerals that could be worth trillions of dollars. To learn more about U.S. and corporate interests in the region, the Real News Network's Paul Jay spoke to Kambale Musavuli, student coordinator and national spokesperson for Friends of the Congo. He started by asking Musavuli about a 2006 bill sponsored by then-Senators Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton that stated that U.S. policy would hold accountable individuals, entities, and countries working to destabilize the country.
So Senator Obama now introduced a bill to deal with the political situation in the Congo and in the region, especially in Central Africa. He knew it was important to have leverage for nations destabilizing the Congo to hold them accountable for their actions in the Congo, specifically Rwanda and Uganda. So he created the bill, put pressure in Senate, got senators to co-sponsor it, and he even was really hard on George Bush. So for example, as he passed the bill, when he was signed into law, he sent a letter to Condoleezza Rice in 2007 to find out what are the updates. Now, what is the Department of State doing? When Joseph Kabila, the president of the Congo, visited the U.S. in 2007 to meet with George Bush, he sent a personal letter to George Bush reminding him that we have a law in the books that you need to enforce. Yet now, nothing is being done. Why is this very important? Rwanda and Uganda invaded the Congo twice. 1996 and 98, and have unleashed the conflict that's existent and causing all these deaths. If the U.S. can hold the perpetrators, the negative forces on the eastern part of Congo, accountable for what's happening, peace will come very fast. But right now, the United States government has not been bold about doing so. Why? Rwanda and Uganda are U.S. allies in the war on terror. So right now, we have Ugandan troops in Afghanistan, in Iraq. We have Rwandan troops in Darfur in peacekeeping missions for the UN, so the US is not willing to hold them accountable. As it's been documented by the United Nations group of experts, by Human Rights Watch, by Global Witness, a very notable organization about the destabilization effort from these two nations, the US government up until today is not willing to let go of Rwanda and Uganda in the destabilization effort inside of the Congo.
Well, let's go back a bit, because this kind of use of Rwanda and Uganda by the United States is nothing new, or this alliance. It goes right back to the time even of the overthrow of Patrice Lumumba.
Yes, the U.S. has been engaged in the Congo actually for the past 100 years. You know, the United States was the first country to recognize the Congo as the personal property of Leopold, allowing Leopold II of Belgium 100 years ago to control a land the size of Europe and causing the death of almost anywhere from 10 to 15 million Africans, Congolese.
Okay, well, let me just, for younger people that may not know this, King Leopold actually got countries of Europe to agree that he could actually personally own the Congo, and he actually did for, how long did that last?
About, we say, 15 to 20 years.
And this was essentially to exploit rubber.
Exactly, rubber. And not only rubber, they were giving access to the land of the Congo to some of the American investors. So you have the Rockefellers who did receive some lands there, and a few other families that I can't remember the name on top of my head, who start getting concessions of the land.
So your point here is that the United States was the first country to recognize Leopold could own a country.
Exactly. And with that political move, with the U.S. leadership, other nations also recognize that. So if the United States did not recognize, Leopold would have had a hard time controlling a land that he never even visited, the size of the whole continent of Europe.
Let me just add one other note. One of the great campaigners against that in the United States was Mark Twain, actually, yes. Which is a note people don't know much about Twain, but this part of Twain's life. But Twain was a big campaigner against Leopold and his control of the Congo.
Exactly, and that's why I say that he used his talent as a writer to not remain silent. We're not seeing that now with what's happening in the Congo, that people are not being bold. I say, who are the Mark Twains of today to denounce U.S. foreign policy toward the region? Mark Twain did that back then.
That was the Real News Network's Paul Jay speaking to Friends of the Congo spokesperson Kambale Musavuli. To listen to the full multi-part interview, go to therealnews.com.
Well, hello there. Mark Risenhawkins here at South by Southwest, and I'm in here at the Press Lounge with Nikhil, and let me get you in focus. Nikhil and Nikunj, right? All right, make sure I got it. So, Josh had kind of briefed me a little bit on what you guys do. What's your company? What do you do?
Well, we're with a startup called Rudder.com.
Rudder. Mm-hmm.
We help people manage their finances and ensure good financial health. Mm-hmm. But basically the goal at Rudder is to create and promote good financial health. And we do that by enabling people to make good financial decisions.
Okay. So, I mean, how do you do that? It sounds like almost like an advice site when you talk about that. Is it advice, or is there some mechanics involved? How does it work?
It's really a couple of threefold, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's more planning versus accounting.
Yeah.
So most sites today are more like your regular accountant that kind of analyzes your past statements and tells you, hey, here's what you did in the past.
Right.
We're more about enabling actionable data. So we provide the data you need to make better decisions.
Okay.
So, for example, we'll tell you exactly how much you should be spending until you get paid next. Mm-hmm. And any more than that, and you're going to be in trouble.
Okay.
And I guess in addition to that, what I'd like to add is the customizability aspect of our product.
Okay.
Which is really, you know, your wallet's very different from mine. You know, the fact is that, you know, we all need different financial solutions, and really Rudder allows you to customize your experience.
Okay. Cool. So
I guess from an advice perspective, we're not the guys that say, hey, you know, you should invest in this stock.
Right.
The way we approach personal finance is more like, hey, you know, we look at your financial situation, we look at your bills, your income, and we'll suggest, hey, listen, you should not spend more than X, or you run the risk of adding more credit card debt. Mm-hmm. Right, so we're there to ensure that your financial trajectory, your financial health is not sinking.
How do you guys deal with like large amounts of debt? Because that's a big thing. Everyone's got it right now. Everybody's got debt that they're trying to either get rid of or pretend that doesn't exist or something. So
and that's a very real problem, right? Especially considering today's economy.
Right.
Paid off, just money is very important right now. So what we help you do is, first of all, we make sure that you're not adding on any more debt.
Right.
So we look at let's say you go buck wild on your credit card, right? And that credit card statement is not going to be due in 45 days from now, right? So we track it and we remind you, hey, listen, even though you've got $5,000 in your credit card account, in your bank account right now, don't spend more than $2,000 because you've got that big bill that's due.
Okay.
Right. So we first of all help ensure that you're not adding on any more debt, and then after that we help you set goals. And one of the goals can be, hey, listen, I want to get rid of my debt.
Right.
So then we'll give you advice on, like, listen, if you want to pay this debt off in the next year, you should be setting aside this much per month. So we'll give you real information that you can use to make better decisions.
Right. So, okay, how do you guys acquire the data? Is it, am I going to be entering like a lot of information, like I used to have to do with Quicken, or is this being pulled in like from bank accounts and stuff?
It's actually being pulled in automatically.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in the future we will enable manual data entry.
Yeah.
But right now it's all automatic.
That's good. Okay.
So we can connect to about 4,000 institutions in the U.S. and Canada, and we're able to just suck your information in.
Cool.
So it's a 5 to 10 minute setup. And once you set it up, our mentality is to not have you doing too much work after.
Right. That's good. That's really good, because the hassle of that was one of the reasons why I stayed away from any kind of accounting software for so long. And like when
Yeah, because from what we've learned, accounting software or financial tools out there in general historically have gone through this gym membership.
Exactly.
People freak out at the end of the year during tax season and they go buy whatever Quicken. Quicken doesn't care because you've already paid them their money,
right?
So they don't care if you actually use it or not. So usually people buy it and then they use it for a week, 2 weeks, maybe a month, and it kind of tapers off. The way we approach it is, hey, once you set it up, we'll send you periodic updates, so you don't have to log in anymore. You don't have to do any of the categorization.
Okay.
So if you want to come and look at trends, you're more than welcome. But the objective here is we'll send you periodic updates, so you're always on top of it.
Right on. So, what's y'all's business model? How does it? Do you use it charge for a service, or are you? I don't know. How are you working this?
Well, I mean, the business model is real simple. We send you coupons and offers, money-saving offers, to places that you like to shop at most.
Okay.
So, for example, if I'm buying a lot of pet food for my pets at home from PetSmart, I would be targeted by Rudder with a coupon that would save, say, 20% off at an online outlet buying pet food.
Right on.
And once I go make that purchase, Rudder makes a commission off of that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What's important to remember is that we don't share your information with them. We just scour the web for good deals that we present them to.
That's cool. That's really cool. That's a unique. I think it's unique to your particular niche that to be able to do that sort of thing. And yeah, it's a real clever thing. All right. Well, what other questions do you want to answer that I haven't asked yet?
Well, I mean, I think another question would be, in terms of really one message I'd like to get out is, I think we have an underlying philosophy that's very different than what's out there in the marketplace.
Yeah, Josh was talking about that. He really views you guys as a different kind of company.
And really, I mean, we think these other players out there are glorified accountants who analyze the past, which is what an accountant's job is, to look at your statements, put it together, and tell you, hey, here's what you did in the past. And we think there's some value to that, and so as then you can learn from the past. But the real thing is to ensure good financial health. It's important to make good decisions today.
Right.
And and that's where we really think that by providing actionable data to our users, that's where they see the real value, and that's why they stick around.
Right.
That's one of the reasons why 40% of our users have used another product like Quicken. 35% of them have used a product like Mint, and they finally end up settling on us. And month over month, we have a huge active user base that's pretty engaged with the product.
80% of our users use our product at least once a week.
Really? That's incredible.
Yeah.
72%.
72. Well, that's still not bad.
I mean, in a recent survey, 4 out of 5 of our members found that Rudder's truly enabled them to make better financial decisions.
No, there you go.
Yeah, and that's a pretty good accomplishment.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, I thank you for taking the time. It's been illuminating. I'm going to check it out, and we'll get this. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, I could use some financial planning right now. Oh wait. You know what? One more question springs to mind. Yeah. You guys, you're pulling in data and this is particularly purely a question for me, but I think there's probably other people like me out there, especially in my audience. People that are contractors or have an irregular income. How do you guys deal with that in your projections and your analysis?
Okay, so that's a very different problem from a software perspective.
Right.
We built for that. So what we did was we are probably one of the only, I think, personal finance company out there that actually asks to see how much you make, right? Because that's important. How do you help people with projections if you don't know how much you make, right? So what we'll do is you can come in and you can enter all your income streams, right? So let's say if you have a salary job that's paying you $2,000 every week, and then you've got this contract job, and you think, okay, I'm going to make $500 from this or $5,000, on this day. You can basically plug in your expected income, and then we'll automatically match it up.
Okay.
So you just come in and you say, hey, I think I'm going to make this match with this much. And obviously you have the option to come in and edit it anytime you want.
Right. Very cool. Well, that answers another question for me before I start the service. Thanks, guys.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Take care.